Uh-huh.
Are we in?
We are in. Of course, we are in. You know that's what we do. Peoples, welcome back. Talk on Tottenham. We're here, episode
4.
That's right. He got it. He got it right. He got it wrong last time. Now I'm joking. We both didn't know what episode it was. Episode 4. We're here. We're happy. We're back. It's been a minute. It's been a while, but it's good to be back. And one thing I like to say is keep doing what you are doing. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing the love, passing it on to friends. We really, really appreciate it. And we're growing it for you. We are growing it. It is one of those things that we're keeping it moving. We're keeping it out there. And we're going to be here all the time. We're not part-time, we are full-time. So stick with it. Stick with it. Hope you're enjoying it. Comments are always good to share. Tell us what you're feeling, what you're not feeling. Because as we say, we are building something. We're working towards it. We're growing it. If we put water on it, it will grow. Mm-hmm. You are the water. You are the water. Yeah. See that analogy there? See how I'm going? Yeah.
I was in it.
At breakfast, yeah, lunch and dinner. So I'm moving. But brother, talk to me. You good?
I'm good. Listen, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, first and foremost.
What, not even going to toast now?
Yep, and we're in. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Which we'll get into. But in today's episode, you got to fill me in, bro. You got to fill me in on some of the games, man. We got to talk about Brighton, Doncaster, Wolves, Bodo, and Leeds, as well as like some of the things that have been happening behind the scenes with Tottenham Hotspur as well. Paratici being back, Madison's video, and the leadership group. Plus, you can get to catch up with us as well and what we've been on. But yeah, bro, I've got to tell you, first and foremost, the last game that I saw Tottenham play was Brighton. And then since then, I've been in a different world, my friend.
We can allow you that. We can allow you. You've been busy. So I can cover a lot of that. And to be fair, there's been a lot of interesting conversation around what Tottenham is right now.
Okay.
What Tottenham is on the pitch, how Tottenham are performing. Are we moving at the speed we should be? Are the players doing what they should be doing? Is the manager doing what they should be doing? I think there's a bit of unrest. I do. I honestly feel there's a bit of unrest. And as we go through the games, I'll kind of highlight where I feel it's coming from. And then let's talk about if it's justified. And then look at where we are at this point. Because obviously we're talking about things that have gone in the past. Now let's see where we are present day. Yeah. So let's start Brighton. So you saw that one, yeah?
Yeah, I did see the Brighton game.
You know people are gonna cuss you for doing a pod and you haven't seen all the games. Just saying.
I know, but I was working, and when I jump into work, everything goes crazy. And where I was as well, I was actually filming in York. Which the reception...
Man said York like it was like another country, you know.
But it was in the middle of the field.
Like it was foreign.
It was in the middle of a field, bro.
Disclaimer, anyone who lives in York, I know you have Sky, I know you still have cable. Do you still have cable?
Where I was...
I'm sure the fire still work in York.
The Wi-Fi was terrible. But, yeah, Brighton I did see. And I ended up jumping on the Chris Cowling podcast afterwards and chatting about it after the game. So that was a 2-2 draw. For me, quick overview was like, I felt that we was on top in the first half for the first 10 or so minutes, and once Brighton got the breakaway goal, which felt a bit like Angie-fied ball type of goal to concede.
He said it, Ange ball. Mm-hmm.
It did almost feel like that, and you know, I was a backer of Ange, but it did feel like that almost. It felt like we was under pressure for a while, but then, you know, within the first half, we brought it back, and then there was a big fight back on. And for me, my takeaway was the spirit and character of the group. Okay, yes, we went down to 2 good goals. The first one could have been prevented. I think the second one was a worldie by the player. I think it was Ajayi, his name was. But yeah. For me, my takeaway was the fight back, the character of the players, and maybe, yes, we can say because we're Tottenham, we should have won. But I don't really like that phrase. You know, Brighton are a good team. They've won against good sides and they play good football, and they've always got, you know, they've had their heads screwed on when it comes down to recruitment for years. So every time that they sell, they do bring in a good replacement, if not 2 or 3. So, yeah, tell me about your thoughts and feelings about Brighton and that 2-2 draw.
I think it's fallen... These few games have fell into a kind of bit of a samey pattern where we've looked good in moments and then we've looked really bad in moments. And defensively, we've made our lives difficult because we've having to do so much defending. Our defenders are working hard. And that was a game where, again, they were put to work. And I feel that, yes, Frank has worked on the defensive aspect of Tottenham and we look a lot more of a solid unit. But of course, solid units can be penetrated. And that's what Brighton did. Brighton are a good side. As you quite rightly said, they play good football and they're going to score goals if you give them a number of chances, which we are doing. We are giving side chances. And I still feel that at this point at Brighton, the front line hasn't clicked yet. And I feel we're still a striker missing. I still feel that at this point, we still didn't know if Xavi's going to play 10 or is he going to play left? And we're still toying with that. We've got Koulibaly, who has still got a dead leg, I believe. Is the leg still dead? What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
What the hell is going
But
on?
I saw him in training. I've seen
But he's
training
still
videos.
got a dead leg. Yeah.
Yeah, so he missed all of these games.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it's like, there in our front line, there's concerns. And I feel that a game like Brighton, it was a game where we were lucky to come away with a point, but with the feeling of this Spurs doesn't lose. Games where, as you said, we could have won, we could have lost. So to come away with a point, well done Spurs, because as you said, Brighton ain't an easy side to beat. They're going to be a lot of big sides this year. They're going to give a lot of teams a run for their money, and to come away with a point in a game where we could have thrown it away if we were being Spursy. We could have thrown that game away, but we didn't. So, yeah, I came away from that game. You know what? A point earned rather than 2 lost. That's how I looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Which then takes us on to the games that I've only seen the highlights of, which were Doncaster in the Carabao Cup.
Cool. Let me go on Doncaster.
3-0 we ended up winning.
So yeah, the scoreline I think was an interesting point to highlight because I think certain people want us to beat them like 10-0, and 3 wasn't enough for people. And I also felt that the performance people are expecting a lot more. And I think we have to also remember cup games are difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened to Man United in the cup. We've seen giant killings all over the place, and we've been victims of giant killing ourselves. And I feel that it was job done. And I feel that that's what Thomas Frank has built in Tottenham. We get jobs done. And we didn't play great football in many patches of that game. We weren't outstanding. But we got the 3-0 win. Brennan Johnson Brennan starts and scores.
He looked like he had a good game in the highlights.
Brennan, I feel, has got an interesting path this season because he won't start as much as he did last year. But I feel that Brennan's goals are always going to be important. And it was important in that game. That third one was important because it was like, okay, we've done it now. 3 makes the scoreline look better. But I think a lot of people came away from that going, we're still not clicking, we're still not there, we're still not good enough. And there's a bit of unrest behind it. And it felt, when I did Ricky Sacks, I did Last Word on Spurs after that game, and it felt like when we started the pod, there was an energy of, we lost the game. And we drew Newcastle by this point, and a lot of talk was, oh, we're going to lose to Newcastle. And I was like, whoa. Like, what mentality is this? And that's why when I spoke to you earlier, it was a concern about, where is Tottenham right now? Are we as bad as people say we are? Are we as good as we think we are? Where are we? Because after that game, to beat Doncaster and people to like, oh, we didn't play well in patches, and everyone's assessment. And then to draw Newcastle and automatically people to go, we're not going to win this game. We don't play well at St James's Park. I was like, if we're going to be a big side, if we're going to be a team that's going to compete, if we're going to do what our chairman has said we're going to do, if we're going to do what our board want us to do, if we're going to do what the players seem to be sounding like they want to do, which is compete on all fronts, we go to Newcastle and we give them a game. That's what we should be doing. We should be giving everyone a game. And I feel that feeling now, looking hindsight being a bright side, looking at the feeling after that Newcastle game, I feel that it's because we've not clicked. And because we haven't clicked, people are fearful that until we click, we're beatable.
Right.
And until we click, Newcastle should beat us because the nature of Spurs, we go to St James's Park and all of the old things come back. Oh, we don't play well there. This is a ground we don't have much luck in. Newcastle are a good side. They're going to bully us. They're going to come strong. And then they win the game. I don't think that's going to be the case. I still back us to win it. But I understand where that feeling is coming from. Because we, as I keep using the term, probably going to be the term of the show, we ain't clicked yet. May even be what I call the episode. You know what I mean? it feels like things haven't quite joined together in parts and aspects of the game. So yeah, that's what I got from Doncaster.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's like we always kind of say as fans, don't underestimate any other side in especially in a cup competition. We always say that. So for us to go into a game and almost overestimate our
Opponents. Yeah.
opponents and almost overestimate ourselves and the scoreline, there has to be some balance, is what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you can't have the side go into that game and go, we're going to win this 10-0, because we've been there where that attitude has been around the squad maybe at those times where we've been in good form, and then we go into a cup game against the side we should beat, and because of that attitude we don't win that game. Do you know what I mean? So, give everybody the respect, especially within a cup game, because it's a one-off and anything can happen. And worldies have happened and upsets have happened year in, year out. But for me, the questions that I wanted to ask you about this particular game is that Kinski started for the first time. Archie Gray started as well in midfield. I saw some nice flashes of him. Saw Kinski save a couple of nice shots. But what was your feeling on those two?
Archie is going to split our fan base this season, and he's already doing it on social media. And Archie Gray is a very intelligent footballer, and I feel that in our team there's a place for Archie Gray. He doesn't start now because we've bought above him and we've bought players specialists. And Archie has got all the attributes to be that. He looks a little bit lightweight. I'm not going to lie. He looks a little bit lightweight. Against Doncaster, he looked like he was a little bit above them. And
ability-wise,
yeah, and that's what he should be. And I felt his confidence grew in that game, and he trusted himself. You also got to remember, Archie started our first game of the season and looked very good. And I feel that he needs to be looked after. And I think Thomas Frank being very vocal when he came to Tottenham, saying that Archie Gray was a player that he wanted. He wanted to buy him before Tottenham got him. Says that he sees him as longevity and someone that he wants to nurture and grow. And I feel that Archie's been a victim of last season, playing a lot of games out of position, and fans expecting him just to walk now into a six and be that six, and because he hasn't, they're like, he's not good enough. I feel that it is in there, and I feel that it will come, and I feel that having people ahead of him is going to help him this year. So when he plays a game like Doncaster and he looks good, it's a confidence boost for him, and we can use him in that way. And I feel that that's how I feel how Archie's got to be used right now. I don't see him as being someone who walks into our starting 11, but I think he's a great asset to have. I feel that his football knowledge, his ability on the pitch, he's shown in games going forward when he's come on that he's had an impact. And I feel that he's an impact player now for us. He's not a starter, he's an impact player. That's how I see Archie Gray. I don't know.
he's still very young as well,
he's
Dal.
young.
It's like...
Yeah. It's funny though. I was thinking about the young thing because that's why I kind of yeah when I was speaking then, because footballers are getting younger,
Yeah.
and as young as we say they are, because we're older, you know what I mean? We're older, you know what I mean? Because they're young to us, or they've got an age that we in the world see as youthful. Footballers are playing at a young age.
Yeah, but my point being is that the young ones, that they do like peak at different times, don't they?
That's the point.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you can look at someone like Bergvall and go, wow, last season done him the world of good. He was forged through fire, and you can see him growing, every single game that he plays for us. And he doesn't look out of place when he plays for us. But then you can look at Archie, who basically had the same journey, like you say, but played in different positions all the time. And then for him to step into midfield, a role that he knows, but at the same time, you're going to have to get used to it. I tap danced in college. If they ask me to tap dance now, you're going to have to give me a couple of sessions. Do you know what I mean? Before I can tippity tap, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there is that part as well, but they all do spike and they all do grow and then find themselves at different times. That's the thing with the young ones, and that's the frustration at sometimes. But that's the thing with them.
Yeah, and that's where the fan base is going to have to be a bit patient if we want Archie to have his time at Spurs.
Okay.
Because if we are going to invest in him, we need to give him time. Simple as that. He needs time, and that's what I'd say. And I think we've bought players to give him time as well. know what I mean?
Yeah, and this just begins the so we don't have to spend too much time on him, but because we will in a second. But Matisse Tell as well starts in the 9, and I after the game, Twitter wise and online wise, I was hearing a lot of criticism
Yeah.
directed to Tell,
Yeah.
which has happened, and he's another young player, only 20 years old. Yeah, some say that playing on the left-hand side is his better position. Frank's alluded to it before as well, but because of personnel right now and those that we do have available in the 9, he's played there, but misses a few kind of on the plate type of shots, almost like just misjudges it, almost tries to put too much power into it rather than placement and accuracy. Maybe snatching it, maybe wanting to score too badly to prove himself against Doncaster. What was your impressions of Matisse in that particular game in the 9? Because I know that, especially with you as well, you've had a critical open eye on him in the sense of, why did we buy him? Where was he going to play? What role is he going to fulfill within this squad and within the first 11? So what was you thinking at this point?
I could totally understand the fan base being annoyed, frustrated with the performance that he gave, because he's trying hard and he's not achieving anything. And you look and go, like I said, I've been very open, as you highlighted. Why was he bought? What is his role? If he was bought to play on the left, we've bought a number of players to play there in the windows that have just gone. So why do we have him? Even Kunamane, like, he was ahead of Tell. We went there first to get him, and now we have him in the squad. And I feel that may have an effect on him mentally as well. And I think his confidence is taking a beating. And I feel that when he goes on international duty, you see the confidence come back. And him and Odebear look like completely different players. Yes, it's under 21's level, don't get me wrong. But you see a confidence in him. You see a man who goes, or a young boy, which is more important, or a young man, that's better. A young man who finds himself again and believes in himself. And I'm going to be really frank and honest, Frank. I don't know if it's going to work out for Tell.
Okay.
I don't know, because if he's going to be employed as our striker, the minute Solanke's back, the minute Koulibaly's available, Richarlison there, is he above those 3 for the striker position? I don't believe he is. Then you look at the left side. So are we saying that when those 3 are available, Tell's number 1 for the left-hand side, is he above Odebear? If we have Kulicheski, if we have
well, even Johnson's playing it.
if we
playing
have
on the left.
Xavi, like, there's a number of players that are holding out for that left wing. Is he better than them? Because I've not seen him shine there either. It takes the pressure off him being a striker when he's out on the left, but does he give you enough? And I don't know if he will. So I feel that he could be one that falls into the history of Spurs, of those players that you go, they just didn't really click, did it? It didn't really happen for them. And I'm fearful that that's going to be his journey. I don't want it to be.
Okay.
I really want him to succeed. Of course, he's wearing my shirt. I want him to win. I want him to be a success. 25 goals this season. I want him to be amazing. But I'm just worried that the fit may not fit him.
Okay.
That's my concern for him. I know you mentioned Kingsley, and I didn't go into Kingsley.
Oh.
I'm going to come back to that later, because there's a big keeper conversation that we need to have.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's keep it moving for now. Then it was Wolves 1-1. Now, it's always a tricky game against Wolves. I don't know why, but they've always... I don't know why. It's always one of those with Wolves, I feel. And they hadn't won a game at this point either. From the highlights that I saw, Kudus was unlucky with a point-blank header. Really good save by their keeper. Your doggy starts. But Kudus, for the rest of the game, seemed to be on fire. He just kept scaring them, I felt. That's what it looked like in the highlights that I saw. Also, there was that goal that was disallowed where Bergvall does almost like a backflip.
Yeah, beautiful
and
move.
He scores, and it's just offside.
You're kind.
Was it?
You're kind. It was offside.
Was
It
he
was well
offside,
offside. It was well offside. It wasn't even close.
Well,
Wasn't even
it's
close.
just because I wanted it to
Yeah,
be
you
a
wanted
goal.
because that it was. And West Ham fans have said that is a kudos thing. He does get caught offside a lot in those moments when you go, just hold your run. The Wolves game,
It seemed like another one where we looked like we had a lot.
first half, second half was two completely different games.
Okay.
First half, we looked like a team who was in control of the game. And we were working the ball, and those moments were happening, and we were trying to break Wolves down. Second half became a real telling point of how Spurs can create their own problems. We didn't take our chance in the first half. In the second half, Wolves got their goal, and then we was in problems because our front line hasn't clicked. So we were struggling to break Wolves down. We were struggling to find the goal. I know a lot of people have made jokes about our equaliser because shirts were off and it was a big celebration. And that idea of it's only Wolves, they're bottom of the league, and you're throwing your shirt off in the last minute like you scored a winner in a cup final. I don't think that was what that moment was about. I think it was an understanding of we just got out of jail here. We were struggling to break Wolves down, and then when we got the goal, it was like the release. It was like, oh, we couldn't have walked off this pitch losing this game. We can't lose this game. And I think that's something that Frank's built in this Tottenham team. That's something that I've been very impressed by. We don't look like we're giving up. Even when it's not working, they're pushing and pushing and pushing, and then they get their goal. And Brighton was a 2-2. This Wolves result here, there's been a resilience in this Tottenham team to go, we don't lose. And right now, we're not winning as much as we would like to as fans. We're not playing as well as we would like to, but we're not losing. And that's something that is new for me with Spurs. Games where, like you said, Wolves been a tricky place. If we had played the way we played before, we'd never have got an equaliser. That would have been a game we've lost. We're scoring a lot of goals, 85 plus. And this is a not giving up thing. This is a will to win. The goals are coming from unusual sources. Our number 6 is getting the goals. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Bro.
That's what I mean. Our number 6 is meant to be our holding midfielder. But what he's doing is he's showing that leadership and that fight and that will to go, do not give up. We fight to the last minute. And that is something that is, I believe, Thomas Frank. I believe that's coming from his leadership, his coaching staff, and it's running through the veins of Tottenham right now, which we don't give up, which is good to see.
Well, I mean, I was really impressed just to see the goals. Paulinho scored a great goal, edge of the box, curled around everybody. And then it was against Doncaster. He had the overhead kick as well. So that was like in back-to-back games, it's scored big goals. You know, so he's not just the midfield destroyer. He's also getting up there, and he's also finding that space to not only score but create chaos.
I think he's also found that he's finding the goals because the goals are not coming from the other sources right now, and I think that's a problem. Again, that's an area that has not been addressed. He's done a lot of work.
How have you felt about him since?
I think it's a fantastic signing, and I believe that we've pulled the trigger already, and we're gonna make that deal permanent. I believe that that's very much Tottenham are going to activate that and make that happen. I feel that he's exactly what we needed, as we spoke about previously, that he's a specialist in his position, and that's what you need. And you look at him, and he looks happy. He's playing with passion. You can see that it means a lot to him being at Tottenham. You can see that he enjoys his football at Tottenham right now, and I'll make continue. I think it's a signing that the type of signing that we've been calling out for Tottenham to be making, ready-made, Premier League proven, hungry, ambitious, talented. That's what you need, and a specialist in their position, not makeshift. He's ready and he's good to go.
And he's been impressive, bro. He's been up there, man.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So we keep it moving to Bodo. We're back in the Champions League.
Back there again. Back at Bodo. We've been there before.
Yeah, we've been there before. You know what I mean? We know what to expect. We know what the temperatures are like. I was actually filming on the first half while the first half was being played, and then when I got down to the second half, I was the only Tottenham fan on set, as per usual.
Yep. Where are we, Spurs fans? We need to be outside more. Let's be outside.
As per usual, man. Not one on the crew, not one on cameras, not even the lighting guy, bruv. There's not one in the cut. It was just me, one Tottenham, bruv. I had an Inter Milan guy who was actually on lights at one point, and he tried to give me some, bruv, from nowhere. He just come out from nowhere, and he's like, because I was wearing a Tottenham top. He's like, "Oh, you Tottenham?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Ah, yeah. I said, "What? Ah, yeah." And then he's
Rude.
like, "Yeah, well, you never win nothing." I said, "Bruv, what are you talking about?" I said, "May, we just won." I said, "When was the last time you won?" And this is in other land, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I said, "Did you win last year?" Conte won last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you win last year? What did you win last year? And what happened in Champions League? Oh, it's all right. It's okay. Not only some of us can lift European glory. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Winner.
brother, I had to just. I just had to
Don't bring
just.
it.
So
If you see either of us on the street and you
Just-
want to try and bring it, be careful.
just,
Your banter better be A class. A class. I'm not even joking. Your banter better be ready. I'm loaded. Anytime you want to try it, loaded, and he's loaded too. Be ready, yeah? Any rival fans watching it, if you can come for us, pick a time, anytime. Name the place, but there.
But bro, I was just like, where did it come from? Like, I just met this guy. Do you know what I mean? And you know me, I show love and patience and kindness to everybody. And it's why the first time thing he comes was my team, and I was like, no, come on.
Rude.
So, so there was a Liverpool fan watching their game, and then somebody had a laptop, and they were gooners watching it. So I didn't get to see Bodo, the second half of Bodo or any of Bodo. I just waited until highlights the rest that night, and saw that Bodo were watering a plastic pitch, Darren Hart, in the Arctic. Just your first impressions on that, please, because you've played on AstroTurf, right? Okay. Does it need watering, Dal?
No.
Okay.
But
Simple.
the reason why you water it is for speed of passing, because it makes it quicker. And we've played on that pitch before. We've played against Bodo before, but this is a different Tottenham and a different Bodo. They were way better than us.
Yeah, they look like they should have won.
They were way better than us, and they outfought us. They outsmarted us. They were slicker and quicker, and we got out of jail with that 2-2.
Was it another get out of jail, or was it a fight back?
No.
Was it a get out of jail?
I won't. I have to say that one was a get out of jail.
Okay.
Because they missed a penalty. They had moments where they were absolutely wonderful in their football and deserved more. If it was a reversal, I'm only going to be honest. If that was us playing the way they played, I would say Spurs were lucky to get a point. So I'd have to be honest from the Spurs perspective and go, we got lucky. We didn't look like we was at the races for so much of that game. The pitch cannot be blamed. The only thing that I could look at is tactically, I got concerned. And I mean it, I got concerned. I did last word on Spurs. I got concerned because it looked like the game plan was to sit back and hit them on the break.
Bodo?
Yeah. That's what it looked like. It looked like our game plan was to sit back and hit them on the break. Soak up the pressure and hit them on the break.
Okay.
We couldn't get the ball. We could not get the ball. They moved it quick. They moved it sharp. They were accurate. They creative. And we couldn't get the ball. And then anytime we tried to just get it out, we just hoofed it long. And Richie was away with the fairies. And it came back to us. It was really... And Rick, no word of a lie. If you want a horror story to watch the first 25 minutes. Because they were all over us. And I was like, if that's the tactic, that's a problem. And I didn't think it was the correct tactic for that team. A team that I knew were going to play ball. They're a pass inside. It's Astro. They're going to be slick. As soon as I saw them walking, I knew the game plan. It was like, slick passes. That's quick ball movement. We weren't steady on our feet. And I was like, alarm bells. Alarm bells. Not like to the point where I'm trying to evacuate a building alarming. I'm just going, that was like, oh, don't do that.
So you saying like bad night at the office or wrong tactics from Frank and wrong setup, wrong mentality maybe?
I think wrong from Frank, wrong from the team, wrong mentality. I think some people have gone, it's only Polo Clint. Like you said, that thing of Doncaster should have been an easy game. We beat them before. We beat them last year in the Europa League. So we know them. Some of the players were there. But it wasn't the way that Anne set out. It was a different setup. Different players, different ways of working. And Bodo came with a different game plan because they've like we played Tottenham before. We're not gonna be inferior to you. We're not gonna bow down to you. We're gonna come and put our statement. Also, we played them at a different point in the season. When we played them the first time, their season was over. They were
Right, yeah,
practically
of
it
course
was
it
like
was.
they were coming back off having played games for ages. It was
Yeah.
either over or they had their break. Forgive me if it wasn't
I
over.
think I think
But
it was
there
their
was a
break.
huge gap.
Yeah.
This is seasons in full flight. They're in game mode. They're hungry. They're prepped. They're in the motions. So they look good.
And they caused people problems last year as well.
Brother, I'm gonna say this right now. If you think watching this that Bodo are gonna be a team that people just run riot over in the Champions League, you're an idiot. Yeah, you.
No,
Because-
not you. No, not you.
No, you.
No,
you,
but
you.
he's
You.
fine. It was his friend.
Yeah, your brethren.
Yeah, him.
You.
Him,
Yeah?
yeah.
Because they're a good footballing side, Rick. They're in the Champions League like we are. They can play ball. On their pitch, they're going to be a problem for a lot of sides. They're going to upset a big boy. I'm telling you right now. Someone's going to go there and get turned over that we don't expect. It could have been us. Because they play good football. It's not like it was an FA Cup game at Morecambe and it was like a shocker. This team played good football and they've got educated players and they deserve to win that game. They deserve to win that game. We got out of jail. We got out of jail.
The highlights were ridiculous, bro. I think at one point it flicked to like 62 minutes before we had an opportunity, and I said, "What?" It was just all them the whole way.
Yep, bro. We got
And
out
like
of
you
jail.
say, like shots over the bar, the penalty over the bar, like they, and it was a local boy that actually scored those two goals, and they were fantastically struck goals.
Baller. I
Man.
can't remember his name for love nor money.
I think it's Heiger or Holger or something like that. I apologize.
Correct us.
Yeah,
I know you will.
Comments. But yeah, again, brought it back. So Van der Ven, I think he was captain that night.
Yeah, he lost his head a few
and
times
then,
for me.
then Richie as well.
Yeah. It's
How are you feeling about Richie? Because I'm a little bit kind of like deflated by him right now. He started so well, bro. In the sense that I was like, what is happening here? Like I told you, he was running in rhythm. Yeah, and now he seems like he's running flat-footed again, and he seems a bit kind of stuck in the mud a bit. Do you know what I mean?
that's what Richie does, though. He has his moment, and then the moment's gone, and the moment's gone, and now we've got to wait for the next one.
The next bit.
Yeah, it's peaks and troughs with him, and we need him not to be playing every week. We need him to be able to come off the bench and be an impact player. Richie falls into the impact player.
Yeah.
He's not a starter because once he's cold, oh my gosh, he's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And right now, he's not there. He's not there at all. And he's doing that thing that Richarlison does that always concerns me. He's trying to fight his way into games to get his mojo going, where he needs to hit a defender and needs to get bookings and needs to get angry. And it's like, if you're going to do that and it doesn't work, and that was a prime example of a game where it just didn't work. What he was doing to try and get himself going wasn't working. The goal was lucky. Like it wasn't like, Richie did something amazing to get that goal. Like you would have put your house on anybody. Tell probably was sitting, God, I wish I had that moment because he needed that. So yeah, Richie's a concern, but Richie is more of a concern because we don't have any. Well, we're not using the other options. I won't say we don't have any other option because we've got people like Dame Scarlett there. We've got Tell that we can use, and Frank has decided at that point in time that Richie was his number one. Things have changed since then, and we can allude to what we're seeing now.
All right, and so then we go back into the Premier League against Leeds, away from home. Actually, this was like not too far away from where I was filming.
It was in between both of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was literally in between both of us.
That weekend there was a storm weekend.
Oh yeah, I was in it too.
Yeah, was you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because I got rained off that day, so I was supposed to be doing some outside filming, and it was like, no, Ricky, we can't do that today. So they rained me off that particular day. Still couldn't find the ball anywhere. So I watched a watch along, a bit of Barnaby and a bit of Expressions. So I watched the watch along during the time, and then I watched Match of the Day a bit later. But Rodon hits the post. Costa would have loved that one, bro. As soon as I saw that highlight, bro, that's all I was thinking about was Anthony Costa would have loved that. That would have been on his betting sheet. It would have been on his accumulator, bruv. Like, he would have told everybody that was watching or listening, watch, Rodon's gonna score. Do you know what I mean? I could hear his voice.
Yep.
I could feel it, bruv. I could feel the energy. So I was happy he didn't score. And then Tell back in the 9, and he's the one that gets us 1-0 ahead in that particular game. Kudus again running the show. Xavi was in the 10. What was your thoughts and feelings? The 1-1 was another Vicario parry. So that's like 3 that we've seen where he's parried, and that was my initial thing back in the day, bro.
I remember you spotting it right from day one.
It was the only concern that I had. It was like, you know what, he can make the 3 saves. You remember that famous 3 saves that he made, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, he made those 3 saves, but every single time he batted it back into danger, like almost where the centre spot was. He batted it just where an opposition player would be.
Yeah, back to
you know,
problem.
he didn't parry it away or behind, you know. And so that's almost creeped into his game again. So, and that's how they equalise. And then Kudus gets his first goal, thoroughly deserved. A great winner to make it 2-1. Talk to me about Leeds, brother.
After coming out of the Champions League game and saying that we got lucky, like we got out of jail there.
Yeah, so this is the response, right?
Yeah. And again, when I say about not clicking, it was a game where I was like, oh, like, Leeds look good. Leeds looked good. I was in rehearsals and I was able to watch the whole game because they were rehearsing a part that I wasn't involved in. So I got to sit and take it all in. And Leeds played football. And I was worried. A lot of that game I watched worried because Leeds looked like at times they should have scored and they looked like they were going to score. And I give our back line a lot of credit for, again, how hard they worked. On a tricky surface, it was a stormy, windy, wet day. And we played with grit, determination, and heart. And Tell getting that goal, oh my gosh, he needed it. Oh, he needed it. Deflection, whatever. He just needed it to come off something. And I feel that the fans now, at this point in time, we've just got to give him some love. If there's no other option but to play Tell in that 9, we just have to give him love because now he's got one and he's also been away on international duty and scored again. Yeah. And we just want to keep the confidence in him. He's going to miss. Like, he's not the complete striker. He may not even be a true 9 or a true forward, but right now he's been employed to do that. And while he's there, if Richarlison, Dame Scarlett and him is the only option and Frank's going with Tell, let's just back it. And let's hope that everyone else around him can support him and give him enough opportunities that he gets one, or is there to get the rebound or whatever that comes off the shot that he has. Because one thing I give Tell over Richarlison is you see how hard he's working. You can see that he's trying. You can see that he wants it. And that want may be too much at times. And that maybe what works against him. In that Leeds game, he worked. And he deserved the goal he got. He deserved that. And Kudus definitely deserved his. He was a menace and a thorn in Leeds' side the whole game. And he's a player that has become our outlet for intelligent attacking play. And he just needs other people across the midfield to do the same. And that's what I'm looking at now. That's what I talk about. It's not clicking. Simmons being in the 10 was great to see. He had moments. It's not going to happen in one game. And also he's got, who am I playing with? Is this going to be the people I'm always going to play with? So I get used to their runs. I get used to the way to pass. I go, oh, you like it here. You like me giving it to you there. They're learning all that still. And I think Simmons' football intelligence is going to be a great asset to this team because he's a footballer. Like that may sound like a patronizing term to say he's a footballer, but there's people who just play the game and people who kind of embody the game. He's a person who embodies the game for me. Like, I don't know if you've seen the little clips they've got on YouTube. They keep on Insta right now with Simmons doing the little skill sets.
Oh yeah.
If you just watch stuff like that, especially if you're a young kid, go and watch it. His touch is so precise. Nothing is done where he hasn't completely understood the agenda of what he's trying to do. He's an absolute baller. And I think we use that term a little bit too loosely on players. Like, everyone's a baller, he's a baller. He's what I would look at as a baller. And if we can get him firing right, understanding the teammates that he has around him, he could be an absolute gem in our team. Using the term Ricky Sachs coined, that lot picker, he's got all of that in him. And I think it's him understanding the runs that people are going to make, and also them trusting that if they make the run, he's going to give them that pass. And that was the first time him being there. I would keep him there.
That's
I'd
his
keep him there.
position down.
I'd keep him
That's
there.
his position.
Yeah,
I think he's almost like wasted on the left. He's trying to shift
agreed.
in. He comes in to
Yeah,
get involved,
yeah.
and then we miss out on the winger. You know, I remember I think it was his first or second game where he done that. He started on the left, he moved in, and he went to pass it, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know?
yeah.
And it was supposed to be him that was
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I
pass
know he was
himself.
waiting for Spence or whoever,
Yeah.
but he was supposed to be there in that certain position. But for me, it's like you say, just to build on what you're saying, football IQ, bro. He was born in football IQ. He has always battled to get his space and to keep that shirt. He has always been the smaller guy. You know, he has always had to go up against bigger, stronger, faster, you know, meatier, bullish type of dudes when playing. It's nothing that he's not had to do, not just in his own country, but in Spain and in you know what I mean, in Germany as well. He's come to the Premier League, I think the 10, when I saw him just start flicking, it was over the top balls and the little outside of the footballs. I was just like, when this clicks, your word, when this clicks, bro, when this clicks, it could be dynamite. And I think especially him and Kudus, once he starts to read Kudus, because both of them, you know, against Bournemouth, they doubled up against Kudus, right? They saw that Kudus was our creative outlet and nullified him. And Bournemouth had majority of the game, didn't they? You know, Bournemouth were really good against us. They deserved to win that particular game. When you're doubling up on somebody like Kudus will round the corner pass, you know, blind pass into Xavi, and Xavi will take control, bruv. He will use every bit of that space. It's the quality of pass, it's the weight of pass, it's his intelligence. It's almost sometimes like a bit of a pool or snooker shot.
Yeah.
It's like he'll chip it over, and it's almost like it spins back a bit, just into the path of whoever's running onto it. And he's had a couple of shots that haven't been the greatest right now, but once he finds his feet, I think he's going to be super duper explosive. And one of the players that I was super excited about, that I wanted, that I didn't think was coming, but he's there, and I think keep him in the 10, and it could be fireworks, my friend. It could be fireworks.
And there are fireworks happening right now in our goal area.
Yeah, but hold tight. Before we get to go, I just want to give Matisse Tell, because we spoke about him, missing against Doncaster.
Give him some love.
Again, that goal, I think for him, like you rightly said, is going to give him a whirl of confidence. He's been waiting for it. He's been pushing for it for a while. But when you look at his trajectory, right, it's 16. I think it was Rennes. I'm not sure. Tell us in the comments. You know me. I think it was Rennes where he started as a young boy, as a teenager, and I think he played like 10 games where he was super duper on fire, right? And he gets the big move to PSG. PSG's youth squad for a while. Then he breaks in a couple of games here and there. Again, super duper on fire, and Bayern come for him. And, again, he gets a couple of bitty games because he's a young boy. They're going to bleed him in. Of course they are. The same way that what we're doing, pretty much. But they're going to bleed him in. They give him, I think, his first season, going into his second season-ish, that was where he played the bulk of his games. But when we ended up buying him, he wasn't getting much time at all. At all at Bayern. So when he came into Tottenham, it was at a time where we needed players. It was that January where everybody was decimated. It was under Ange, and we needed players quick, fast, and he comes in at the end. And when he comes in, all of the pressure is put on him to make something happen. Okay, so he has that rocky period. He comes through it. He gets dropped out of the Champions League squad, for Audebert this season under Frank. And he plays these couple of games. He's misfiring. He's snatching at shots. But what really got me was the reaction of Frank, right? And this is what spoken about Bodo, this is what bodes well for Tottenham going forward as well, under Frank. And what I've really liked and what I've noticed about him is that he's not afraid to say that we were bad in that particular area, or, that is something that we've got to work on. And he's one of those guys that goes with his analysts and his coaches, and they go and study that fault, and they go and study, and they go and put the work in, and they go, all right, and cool, this is how we fix it. And if that, you can see them working towards that. It's the same with Tell throughout these games that he was playing. And Frank said this after the Leeds game, I think it was, and throughout these games that he was playing, you could see all of those things that we've said about snatching, but he was starting to run in the right places. And the coaches and Frank, especially in these breaks, have been sitting down with Tell and working on him and coaching him. And that's what we've wanted as well as a Tottenham supporter. That not only a manager that knows a great formation and a great motivational speech, but somebody who coaches and makes these players better than what they are, who can get them to reach their potential, who can get them to the heights that they want to get to too. And to see that and and to hear of all of the positive stuff that I heard after that Leeds game about Matisse, I think it's just a great indictment. It's a great kind of like marker for those coaching team and for Thomas Frank and for Matisse, that that with hard work, and he's prepared to do the hard work. You said that, Dal. He's got a great attitude about him as a young forward. He could be very flashy and roll around in a Maserati and and all of the crazy ass things that footballers do nowadays, but he's got a great attitude to go, all right, and cool, I'm going to knuckle down and work, or I'm going to prove myself, or I'm going to show you guys. And with a young player that's been on a roller coaster for all of this time, he hasn't really found a home. He hasn't really found a role, like you said. To have a coaching team behind him that are believing in him and have him believe in himself and put that into action, I think it's a great indictment for Thomas Frank, for Matisse, and for every single player that is playing underneath Thomas Frank right now. He's going to find your weakness, and it's not a weakness. It's just something that we haven't dealt with yet. What I mean? We haven't kind of paid attention to. So now it's time to pay attention to that and to get you up the levels. And I just think that is a good sign of things to come. Let's see what happens. But right now for Tell, he's got a great opportunity to build on it and to grab the shirt and to put him not only in the coach's mind, but us as supporters. So by the time that the Champions League, the groups come up again, once we've qualified, I'll say it, once we've qualified for the next stage and we've got to sort out our group again, he wants to be in there instead of Odegaard or somebody else.
Yeah.
So there's the motivation, there's the goal. Plus there's a World Cup next year as well. There's a lot of motivation for him to keep pushing and to go and grab his shirt.
100%. And it's just now, it can be interesting because I think that, like you said about Frank being good at coaching and getting the best out of people and being able to improve people, I think Frank himself has to do some improvements. And I feel that every manager is learning about themselves. If you're a good manager, any human is learning about themselves.
Agreed.
And as he's going forward, he's been challenged. Like the Champions League has been an eye-opener for him. And I feel that he hasn't done great so far. He's done good. And I think that he should be looking at, again, how can I do it better? And I feel that he has to find, with the players available, his best front line.
Absolutely.
I don't think he knows it yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't think he knows it. And I feel that that's hindering our attacking play, because when you don't know it, you keep swapping and changing it. And I think the swapping and changing isn't helpful for rhythm building and for pattern building. And like you said, understanding each other's play. So Kudus and Xavi haven't had enough time on the pitch. In match time, you can train all you want. Match time, I don't care what people say. It's a different speed. It's a different training. I can only look at it as a performer. I can rehearse till the cows come home, but nothing can prepare me for that moment when I'm in front of an audience or in front of a camera when I really have to kick in. I take the things that I've learned from there, but there's a different energy, and there's also a new performance that comes out that you've never seen on the training ground.
Absolutely.
So it goes into a heightened place, and I feel that in match time, when you're together with players, you find that new moment together, you elevate together, and you find that new realm to be in. And I can't wait for Frank to find that, because I feel that is hindering him and Spurs right now, because he doesn't know his best front line, because we know who's injured, and we all know who's injured, but I can't keep referencing the people who are injured because we've got to play with who's available.
Absolutely.
You've got to find the ones that are available to make it work. And right
Absolutely.
now, it's not clicking.
It's not clicking. It's not clicking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to? So we're gonna move on to the goalkeepers. Now.
Fireworks in goal.
So talk to me. So again, all right. So Kinski. So I asked you about your start against Doncaster. You know, we've spoken about Vicario, and he's almost kind of, you know, parry 3 goals we've conceded, but from him parrying into the path of an opposition player.
Yeah, we spoke highly of how well Spurs have defended, and I also did the whole breakdown on, I think, episode 3 or 2. You can check because you watched it. Where I spoke about how well we're defending and the confidence that is being built in that defence.
Yeah.
But I also, if I remember rightly, I said about Vicario being protected by this defence, and because we've been under more pressure, I've seen Vicario get worse.
Okay.
And that's what has worried me, is when he has been called upon, he's panicked, he's frustrated, it's so hard to explain. It's like watching a child at times in the goal, because as soon as something happens, he wants to blame everybody. He's shouting at everyone and he's manic and it's crazy, and he's been at fault for moments in games where I go, just relax, Vicario, just take your time. And I think because he's so erratic in that, he's making our back four panic. And I feel that he just needs to be calmer. And I feel that if he can't be, we need to give Kinski a trial. We need to give him 3 games, 4 games. Goalkeepers are different. It's a very different position. You can't just put a goalkeeper in for 1 game and go, there's your moment. And I think like the Doncaster game, yeah, Kinski did okay. He had a lovely moment. We know he's got fabulous feet. Vicario has not kicked the ball. Like, I don't know if you probably didn't catch it. He didn't watch the game. The Bodo Glimt game. Like, Van der Ven was doing the goal kicks.
Was he?
Yeah.
No, I did not see that at all. No.
Van der Ven was doing the goal kicks. We saw this. What's that about? Also, it puts pressure on us that we don't need. And I'm just looking at Vicario, and there's a lot of alarm bells going off.
Did he have a Did he have a hamstring? Did he pull something? Was he? Did he have a bruised toe or something? Why was he not taking the goal kicks?
Rick, $1 million question. No one has mentioned a thing about it.
I've not heard it nowhere, bro.
No one has mentioned a thing about it. But Van der Ven was taking the goal kicks.
What?
Van der Ven was dealing with that side of the game. Now, that's a concern for me.
Okay.
And Vicario is such a contradiction, because everything I've just said, he will make me eat my words, because then he pulls out a worldie of a save.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal shot stopper.
Yeah.
As Ricky said, the triple save that we all watched when we bought him, I was like, wow, what a keeper. He's always got that in his locker. And that's why it's hard to get him out. But we don't know what Kinski has in his kit bag unless he has a run of games.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Frank's brave enough to do that, because goalkeepers are hard. Once you pull a goalkeeper out, it says a lot. And again, Vicario makes me do this. It makes me contradict myself, because I go, would I take him out for a game? No. But am I going to take him out long run? I want to, because I need to give Kinski a try. But then Vicario then had this worldie of a shot stop on him, and you go, do I keep him just for that? And I take all that erratic behaviour, crazy shouts at everybody, and the chance that he's just going to parry one into the path of someone like he did at Brighton. You go, and there's the goal. Vicario also gets a leeway when we play well up front.
Yeah.
And because we're not doing that, it's highlighted more. What's your thoughts on the keepers?
Bruv, I mean, you know, with Vic, I like his determination. I liked it when he got injured last year, and he done so much to kind of come back stronger. And crossing, you know, catches from crosses were a thing. And for a few games anyway, he looked a lot stronger. And then, yes, there were a few kind of samey type of goals that were being conceded. But he looks like a very determined keeper. He looks like an ambitious keeper. He looks like a very hard worker, and somebody who's not afraid to look at his own game and go, okay, cool, where can I improve? But when you have, well, I mean, like, this is a month or so, you know what I mean? Like that we've spoken about 5 games, and when you're shaky in some, but then you pull out big save. It's that. It's a division right now. For Kinski, from when I saw Kinski, you could see that he was made for that type of football. He was made for that. He's been born in that type of football. He played as a midfielder for a while, and so playing with the ball is not a problem for him. You can see in his confidence in his passing and kicks and distribution at times that he's got the vision and he can do it. It's about, like you said, giving him a run of games and then seeing what he can bring to the table. But that's the biggest question then, Dow. Really, it's like, has Vicario done enough to get himself dropped in that sense, so that we can see Kinski, or like I kind of felt in the summer, and it was a cheeky one that I had the cheeky feeling, but because Man City wanted to get rid of Edison to get Donnarumma, and they probably would have got rid of him on the cheap. I'm like, well, he's the keeper that would really kind of fit in our system. Like he's that guy that we want to be playing that way, and he's one of the best at it. He's been one of the best at it for a couple of seasons, and who knows whether he's fell out with Pep or like he's just lost the love a bit at Man City. I'm not sure, but you know what it's like with Pep. Pep don't care. Once you're done, you're done, and he was done off to Turkey, and they brought in Donnarumma, but. Part of me is like, why don't you just go and knock on their door and see? But have we got to that point now, Dal? So do we give Kinski a run, or are we looking for a new goalkeeper in January? Because there is already talks about them looking at goalkeepers.
That's the rumour now. The rumour mill has started that we're meant to be looking for a goalkeeper in January. It's on our shopping list. Who, I don't know. And such a contradiction I'm going to do here. Has he done enough to be dropped? No. Because we haven't lost these games.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I've just got to go on the results and go, he's not cost us a game. We've drew, we've won, and he's not done enough to be dropped. Would I like to see Kinski get a run of game? Of course I would, because then we learn more about it.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't know how you do it. That's why I'm not the manager. Because I don't know how you do that. It's easy to do it with a left back, right back. You came back, put him in, drop Spence out, you don't bat an eyelid.
And it's easy to do it on FIFA, bruv, because, you know what I mean, you haven't got the chairman or the crowd on your back.
Absolutely, but for a goalkeeper, it's such a big decision. And I think that's why Thomas Frank is paid what he's paid, and that's why he needs to make this decision and needs to make it quickly. Because if he is in the market, you are saying that you don't rate either of them.
If in the next 4 games the Vicario ends up doing the same mistake, like parries into opposition players, and we end up conceding goals in the next 4 games, would you be like, okay, cool, is this period of games? Because what we're on 7 games, so next 4 would take us to 11. Let's say 3 in the league and 1 in the cup. I'm not sure. That's a guess.
Yeah, good maths. We work it.
Yeah, let's roll with it. What would you say? Would it be that? Would it be time to kind of
if there's a glaring error, and it costs us, because I'm justification. I need to be able to sit someone down and go, the reason why I'm pulling you out is because of X, Y, and Z, and I need something. And if Vic makes a big mistake in his next 4, or costs us the game, or is erratic in the way that he has been, to the point where you can see that the back 4 losing trust in him, and that's also something to look at. Are the back 4 trusting in him?
That's a great shout.
If they're still trusting him, then I'd leave him. But if they're losing trust with our leadership group, which I'm guessing will be our next segue, if they're trusting in him, I leave him there. If they're not, I swap out and put Kinski in.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you've led us onto the leadership group. It's finally been announced, bro. We all know that Romero is our captain, but those in attendance of the leadership group are Ben Davies, Vicario, Maddison, and Van der Ven. Thoughts?
My thoughts are...
Oh, no, you started it.
Tottenham Hotspur, be quiet. This section will be called Tottenham, be quiet. Why are we announcing a leadership squad? Does any other club have a leadership squad?
I don't know.
Because I've never heard anyone else have it. Sky Sports, big news breaking news, headline news, everywhere. Twitter, the word. Tottenham leadership group. I don't know any other club that has a leadership group. Why do we have leadership group? I don't understand. They feel like prefects.
Yeah.
It feels stupid. I don't understand it. We've got a captain, be the captain, and done. Leadership squad. Where they leading us to?
Yeah.
What we leading? I'm done with it.
Well, I don't think that.
Stupidness.
I don't think that. Especially like someone like Ben Davies, he's not going to do anything different. He leads by example. He's one of those. He's a very much a club guy. He's gonna integrate everybody. He's friendly with. I don't see that any of that changing. Madders is the same. Like seeing his video the other day, and you can kind of see how he speaks to players and how he motivates them through friendship, as well, and through respect. Van der Ven, another centre back. I know you love a centre back, So if Romero's out, then Van der Ven takes the armband. I don't see much wrong in that. I like Van der Ven. I think he's a phenomenal player. And then Vicario is always there, isn't he? At this present time. I mean, after our discussion, who knows? But always there. So I'm with you. I mean, I don't know why it needs to be announced. All I know is that Ali Gold was asking him every week for a long time. He was like,
Ali, leave it be.
Bruv,
relax.
But he basically asked him every week. So have you decided on your leadership group? And like Frank's like, yo, like he's like, can you just... I've got a game to deal with, bruv, and you're talking about a leadership group. Like, bruv, like, seriously, look, Romero's the captain, bruv. Like, this is... When he's not playing, you'll see who the vice captain is. Like, that's what he looked like to me. But that's been announced, done and dusted. So, but I'm with you, bro. I don't see the announcement of it.
Next one. Why are we announcing to the world that we've got another 100 million?
I don't know that either.
Does any other club do this?
No,
Does any other club announce when they've got money? Why do we do it?
I don't know, bro.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Shut your mouth.
We know them prices are going up. Tick,
Going
tick,
up.
Tick, 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 tick.
I don't get it. And this is where part of me goes, are you taking advantage of us as fans and think that we're going to get overexcited about something? And that, like, are they just playing us?
Well, part of me thinks that because of all of the change that has happened, this is part of that. So I think it's them announcing... Especially like the Lewis family, where we've had a couple of takeover bids that have been rejected. We keep saying we're not for sale. The Lewis family keep saying that they've wanted change. We've had change from top to bottom. Levy's not there no more. Donna Cullen's not there no more. Ange ain't there no more. There's so much change within the boardroom. And then to hear that 100 mil, I think it's almost a play to go to the fans. Look, here's an example of change. From the beginning, we're going to announce that we're going to put 100 mil into the kitty. And just a quick one for you. So we were prepared to spend an extra 60, 70 mil on Savinho or Gibbs White or whoever else, but that left winger.
Yep.
So we've still got 60 mil sitting here, at least.
Yep.
So is this like an extra 40 mil to make that 100? Or is that an extra 100 mil with that 60 mil sitting there, and then does that mean we go to work in the January transfer window?
We'll find out.
Because
if you remember rightly, this ain't the first 100 mil that's been put in the account.
I still remember that 50 mil that is still sitting there, like still sitting there. I remember that one. All right, and then we move on. I mean, as we're talking about transfer window, Paratici's back. He's been reinstated officially now. He's back, and Langer's got promoted. So we've got two. What is it? It's not directors of football. What is it? I even forgot their title, bro.
I think one's a director, one's sporting director. I think.
Sporting director. Yeah. But I think they both got the same title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're working alongside each other.
They're a tag team.
Yeah. Langer's going to be dealing with mostly like the youth and data. I did. Yeah. Cool. And Paratici's going to be dealing with basically men's team transfer windows and the pathways, loans, and the youth players. How are you feeling that Paratici's back?
I like him. I like the way he operates. He's a wheeler and dealer.
I like the old school headphones as well.
Yeah. And he's a wheeler and dealer. He's not always going to strike gold and make magic, but I like how he attacks the transfer window. I like his method behind it. I like that he's proactive in it and he's busy and he's connected. And so far, he's brought in some good players, and I've been impressed by when he was driving the transfer window, how we operated and how we moved. And if he can keep doing it his way, and the successes keep coming with the players that you can unearth, great. As we know in football, you have to go through bad ones to get good ones, and there are going to be some duds that he's going to put on the table and we're going to sign and we're going to go, that didn't work out. But I like that if he gets him in, he's going to work out a way to get him out.
Yeah.
And that's his job because we're not good in the transfer window. I've said this before on a number of shows. Spurs are not the best in the transfer window. And
At buying or selling
at buying
sometimes.
or selling. And there's a lot of players that stay around Spurs way past their sell by date. And if he can help that side of things, I'll be really happy. Really, really happy because I think he's a good man. I think it's a good asset to Tottenham to have. You?
I think it's a great balance between them, if I'm honest. You got, like you said there, you got Paratici that spins 8 plates at the same time. That is going to go for the high profile player. That if we need to spend an extra 5 million to get our number one target, he's the one that's going to make it happen. I like that about him. The fact that he doesn't have Levy restraints on him as well. I think we're going to see different level of target that he's going to go for. And then you've got the analytical side, the data side, and the youth side driven by Langer. And for all of the failings that people want to highlight about Langer, he still brought in Vuskovic. He still brought in Bergvall. Do you know what I mean? You know, I think Archie Gray was under him as well, you know. And then there's the ones this year. So, yes, there were some high-profile misses. Morgan Gibbs-White, Eze, and Savinha. But... and there were times where who was it? Was it it was Matisse Tell. I think there was rumors, and it's just rumors, but there was rumors that Levy went to see Matisse Tell in January. He wasn't interested. Langer, I think it was Langer first. Langer went to see him. He wasn't interested. Levy went to see him. He wasn't interested. And then Ange picked up the phone and he was like, "All right, cool, I'm coming." Do you know what I mean? So, but that says to me, it's like, what are you saying, or are you engaging, or it just raises a question mark when it comes down to dealing with the higher profile player. But so between them, they could be a dynamic duo there. They could be Batman and Robin there, and attacking that transfer market and window. And Thomas Frank at Brentford had 2 sporting directors that pretty much done the same. So it's something that he's used to too. You've got Vinay, the middleman in between them. Do you know what I mean? Making sure everything's smooth. So it could be good for us, bro. It's not one way or the other. We've got actually a balanced attack. You know, somebody that can back up the reason that we're spending 60, 70 million on a player, and then go to Langer and go, show me the data on that, and then he can go, well, look, you know, the eye test and the data test, character test. All right, cool, let's get him in. So I think it could be super exciting, bro. Super exciting. Last thing on the Tottenham agenda.
Hit me.
Maddison's video. Did you see Maddison's video?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, God, it's the pause. You kill me with the pause.
I'm just trying to work out what's going on. I think
Go on, talk to me.
I think I've been overkilled with Tottenham information.
Okay.
I feel that we've flooded the media.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that one.
Yeah,
it was that one.
Yeah,
okay, I thought yeah.
We've flooded it with information, and I'm just going like, what is that about? Like, why? And I've kind of got a little bit of
fatigue,
and also a question mark on everything right now. Why the 100 million? Why Maddison video? Why this? Why I'm questioning it all because I don't know if it's agenda led, and that's what I'm trying to work out.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to work out. Like, Maddison's out injured. The video was lovely. There were some lovely moments in it, like you said, his interaction with players and stuff like that. But you're injured, just get fit. You know what I mean? Like, there's part of me that's like, I'm not here for a reality TV show.
Yeah.
I'm not here for it. And that may sound so harsh from me and be like, Darren, but I'm just being real. I just want you back on the pitch. If that's what that's the Maddison I want. I don't really want the Maddison story to go with it. I didn't subscribe for it, and it's not part of my Netflix package.
I think that part of it, bro.
I'm a bad man.
I think that part of it is a way of getting him through. So a lot of time, Bentancur done it a totally different way. You know, Kulusevski, they've all done it the way that you're saying.
Each to their own.
I think with him, he's almost doing something to keep him concentrated and to keep him going and to get through the weeks. And if he's documenting it, then he's moving forward and he can document those goals and he can feel like he's getting better quicker. I think part of it is that. I think part of it, when you get a scary injury, you think to yourself, okay, cool, well, if football's gone, what else am I going to do? And maybe he's kind of going, okay, let me use this so that when football finishes for him, maybe Match of the Day call him, maybe Sky Sports call him, and he becomes a pundit or a presenter or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's all of those thoughts going behind it. I think it comes from a place where, yes, it does give us insight into those conversations with the doctors and into the rehab and into the pain and the painkillers and it does show us a different side of Tottenham. And I think that I think mostly I don't know what the agenda would be right now, but I think mostly it's to get him through it. He would seem to me to be a miserable sod, when he doesn't have football in his life. And when he's injured and he's frustrated and he can't help, but the fact that he can watch the games, come in, film this, put it out, get the responses, get the feedback, get the comments and the messages going. I think maybe it's to keep his mind busy while his body is healing almost, and to get him through. So that's what I kind of took from it.
Yeah, I've always worried about medicine.
Yeah, I know.
I've always worried about him mentally.
Yeah.
I've always worried about him.
I mean, the England droppage, we had that conversation. Not on here, but we had that conversation.
I do feel that I'm worried that medicine breaking down on this journey of his rehab could end his career.
Oh, my goodness, I hope not.
Because he's not young, you know what I mean? He's
28, 29, right?
I think he's nearly 30 now, yeah. So he's at that point of his career. He's you get into last contract realms.
Yeah.
Where it's the last big one. It's the last 3 years, 2 years, whatever you get offered. And I just worry that if this doesn't go well, what James Maddison comes out the other side. That's just a fear I've always had for James.
I mean, it's tough because like you say there, bro, it's like England he missed out on the Europa League final because of injury, and then he's come back. Sonny's testimonial against Newcastle, that's where he's tweaked the knee and done the ACL, and then he's out for the season under a new manager, a new system, going for glory in the Champions League, and the most that they're saying
in a World Cup year.
In a World Cup year as well. Oh goodness! And the most that they're saying is he might be a month, 2 months before the end of the season if he's lucky. So it is tough, bro. It is tough.
Now we said we were going to try and do an hour.
Yeah. What did we do?
Hour 12.
Hour 12. Oh, okay. Raw. We done. But you know what? For not having nothing to talk about this week, we bloody well done it, mate. We done it. All right. Let's give the people them a quick update about why we've been so elusive and out there and out and about seas.
Yes. So I'm gonna say this because we haven't actually spoke about this. We'll tell them where we were.
Okay.
I say let's not give them too much. And if you want,
if they want,
yeah.
Okay.
Tea Talk on Tottenham, an episode where myself and Ricky dedicate more time to the talk than the Tottenham.
Oh, but as in chatting about us?
Yeah.
Okay, so we give them a little insight. So if they want it, we can give them a little insight.
We'll give it to you. We'll put a poll in the group. We'll do something like that.
Okay.
We'll see if they want it, and we'll give it to them if they want it. But I'll let you go first.
Well, as you guys know, or may not know, myself and Darren are actors by trade.
Stop here.
Yeah, Darren's also a DJ. He's a man of many talents.
We entertain.
Yeah, we entertain. Performers, entertainers. And recently I had to go away to film I was going to say to film a film. It's such a terrible sentence, isn't it?
But it is what it is.
To film a film. And it's called Aladdin, the Monkey's Paw, which is a horror version of Aladdin, basically. Set in modern day. I play Aladdin's best mate within it. His character name is called Rafiq. And yeah, we filmed it up in York and in Reading, and we done some shots in London, Leicester Square and West End and stuff like that. But just an amazing, amazing experience. And Darren knows me, when I get into a job, I bury my head into that job and into that world. I hardly speak to anybody on the phone. Like, you'll hardly catch me because I put everything into that particular moment. And that's what I done this time. That's why I couldn't find no football. And, half of the time, to be fair, it's like, I didn't know that we played that night. They was like, oh, the Doncaster. I was like, oh, we played? I was like, I thought that was tomorrow. Like, I didn't know what day it was. I just knew what I had to do on that particular day, how many scenes I had, what the task was or the challenge was, and that's what I went to work in. And but it was amazing. It was basically 2.5 weeks, closer to 3 weeks that we shot this whole film. Had a really great time. Every day was absolute magic, bro. It's my happiest place. For me, Tottenham's my passion, but for me to be able to be in front of the camera, on set or on stage, well, that's my playing field. That's my football field. That's where I go out and give me the captain's armband and let me go to work, And that's what I done. And it was a great time, great cast, great people. But like Darren says, if you want to know, and I can give you some jokes and some stories and some behind the scenes and stuff like that, let us know. We'll put out the poll or drop it in the comments or whatever the case may be. But also at the same time, because the crossover was ridiculous. We wanted to do this at least last week, Dal?
Yeah.
At least last week.
Yeah.
We was looking at the 1st of October, then we was looking at the 5th at one point, but the crossover.
Yeah.
So as I was on set, I had to hand the baton to Darren because it was time for Darren to go to work as well on his side. So let the people know what you've been up to too.
So as Ricky said, he left London and went to film, and then as he was travelling back, I left London to go to film, and I was up in Bradford. And it's now been announced that at Christmas you'll be able to see me in the CBBC Panto.
Whoop, whoop.
Those of you that don't know, I am an actor too. And I have a show on CBBC currently called Playtime Towers.
Playtime Towers?
Yeah, Playtime Towers.
Bruv, my niece and nephew love Playtime Towers.
Stop it, we'll do this later.
Okay, cool. I was just...
Them fake niece and nephews, yeah? I see what you did to me, yeah?
I was
trying to
talking about...
gaslight me. Trying to gaslight me.
I was trying to take, bro.
You tried to gaslight me. But, yeah, so... I filmed the CBBS Panto. We performed it in front of a live audience as well. And that'll be on Christmas Day, and it will do cinemas before that. And I'll give you all those details as we go forward. It is a passion of mine. It is, well, as Ricky said, we both go to work. And when we go in, we really go in. And yeah, if you want to know more about that, we will do an episode of Tea Talk on Tottenham where we tea and we talk a bit more about our craft and then go into Tottenham and share the load. So if you want it, we will do it for you. But right now, that we've given it to you now because it was key to know that as much as we love doing the pod, there will be times when we have to go off and do that side of our life as well. But we will always come back here. This is something that we love to do. Absolutely. And we're enjoying doing it, and we're glad that we get to do it. And we do it for love. Honestly, we love doing this. Absolutely, it's a passion, and we're here. So if you're enjoying it, keep enjoying it and keep sharing it. Keep doing the do's, as Ricky would say. Do, like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, Tea Talk on Tottenham, signing out.
My brother. To you guys, love every time. Okay, cool. You pressed the right button.